I'm back. So, sorry about that. It's been a rough morning. It's been very annoying. I'm actually kind of I'm actually pissed. I'm not sure how this show's going to go. But we'll see. Netflix has recently released a teaser for the upcoming live action adaptation of the animated TV show Cowboy Bebop, and let's just say I have some thoughts. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So yeah, kind of annoyed. And by kind of I mean a lot. Very much a lot. I don't know why. I don't know why my stupid camera did not want to work with the software that I used to record, so I've been fighting with that for half an hour. And it's one of those things, like, of course, it's when I decided, right, I'm going to have a schedule, I'm going to do it at 10 a.m., and now I look like an idiot. Damn it. It's infuriating. It's infuriating, because I was ready to go, and all of a sudden you turn on the software, and it's like, fuck you. So I basically had to re-download everything, and reload everything, and reset everything, and it works. So it works, so yay. Yay. Anyway, for those of you who want to join me in the chat, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch. I'm going to be streaming at 10 a.m. this week, if my computer lets me. Honestly, I have no idea what the hell. I'm beyond words. I was beyond. You know when you want to hit something, when you're like nothing's working, you just want to hit it, but then you're like, oh no, this thing is mine, and I don't want to break my own thing. So I'm just going to let that one go. I'm gonna let it go. Anyway, like I said, comments, questions, or suggestions. Supposedly tomorrow's gonna be 10 a.m. Thursday is still a little tricky, but I'm still aiming for 10 a.m. if you want to join me. If not, you can send me messages on Instagram at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Danny's game clips. Are you planning to go to the show's comedy show? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I don't even know what day it is. I need to check the schedule. If it's on Friday, probably not, because I work on Fridays. But maybe. I don't know if I'm free. Sure, why not? Why not? If I'm free. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't really thought about it. I've been busy with other stuff. But let's get into this. And you know what? If today is going to be Otako Tuesday, I have to do the Otako Tuesday opening. So welcome back to Otako Tuesday. Here we go.
NANI?
Otako Tuesday.
So I keep forgetting that thing's really short and extremely short. But I love it. It's very, very, very ridiculous, but I love it. Bobby Urias. I missed the fantasy football title at the back. I do too. You know, listen, I like the droids. You know what? I love the droids. I love having them back there, but it's not the same. It doesn't show that I'm a champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I considered getting some kind of a replacement, but it's not the same. That one I actually beat. I beat actual, like talented people in it, like fantasy football experts and former NFL players. So I really appreciated. There was some weight to it. The droids, it's cool. It's just not the same. Anyway, thanks for bringing that up, Bobby. So let's get into this. First off, before we talk about Cowboy Bebop, let's talk a little bit about kind of big news or relevant news in the anime world, and that's Demon Slayer. So for those of you who don't know, there's an anime show called Demon Slayer. It's probably the most popular one going on right now. And the movie recently came out that became like the highest grossing film in Japan or whatever. So based on that movie, they decided to release an arc of TV shows. So, well, they decided to do a new season of the TV show, and it's based on that arc. So I'm not even sure. Like, I haven't seen any of the episodes because I just saw that it was the same arc as the movie, but I'm guessing it's going to have a little bit more. Anyway, people are upset because they're going to, an episode is going to be delayed. I believe episode number 4 is going to be delayed. It's because of the Japanese elections. And so I honestly, I don't see what the big deal is. They're just delaying the episode for a week, and it's an episode that it's based on the movie. The movie already came out, so all right, I don't get it. But anyway, it was news, so there you go. Now let's talk about the thing that I want to talk about, and that's Cowboy Bebop, the live-action Cowboy Bebop. Now, for those of you who don't know, Cowboy Bebop is widely considered by a lot of people. It's in the debate of the greatest anime show of all time. And so Netflix got the rights to Cowboy Bebop, and decided they're going to make a live action adaptation of the show. Now, if you've followed along any live action adaptation of any anime or any cartoon ever, it usually does not go very well unless they decide to completely do something original and different. And then they still piss off the OG fans. So it never really technically goes well. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of a great live action adaptation. I can think of decent ones. I can think of okay ones, but it usually never goes well. It's never as good as the animated show. And that's because there's certain advantages to doing something animated. You know, you have perfect control of photography. You have perfect control of the acting. You have perfect control of pretty much everything. And some things that you can do animated don't look ridiculous animated, but look ridiculous in live action, because turns out humans can't do that stuff. So it usually does not go well for the adaptations. And that was my big concern when you're going to be adapting a title that's widely considered to be the greatest anime TV show of all time. It's in the debate. I don't care where you fall. I consider it to be fantastic, but, people will defer. Then, after that was announced, like I said, I was concerned. Actually, probably one of the best adaptations is Alita Battle Angel. I think that's a really good adaptation. Anyway, and it's because it's still mostly CGI, but whatever. It's technically still mostly animated. But let's focus here on Cowboy Bebop. So, I was concerned. Just for the fact, live action adaptation of an anime, not particularly a good sign. However, there is one advantage, and that's that Cowboy Bebop is a sci-fi western, a space western. And there's another space western that I love, and it's a live action one, and it's called Firefly. If you haven't seen Firefly, I highly recommend it. It's one of the best sci-fi shows around, and it is, as I said, a sci-fi western. So to me, it was like, okay, Firefly was heavily based on the world of Cowboy Bebop, or it took a lot of creativity, it took a lot from Cowboy Bebop, and you can tell there's definite influence in Firefly from Cowboy Bebop. At least that's my humble opinion, unless the Japanese creator and the American creator thought of the same thing kind of in similar times, and one did it after the other. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. And so once I thought of that, I was like, okay, if Firefly worked, then maybe there's a chance for the live action Cowboy Bebop, right? There's gotta be maybe the possibility. And then they started announcing the casting. And I like John Cho. Like, I think he's okay in Harold and Kumar. I've seen him do drama, and I think he's good. But when they announced that he was going to be playing Scott Spiegel, I nearly threw up in my mouth. And that's because I think that is a complete and total miscast. Spike Spiegel is one of the coolest characters in fiction. Just one of the coolest cats. Relaxed, a badass, aloof, but serious at the same time. He's too cool for school, and he's not even trying. John Cho is a comedy guy, and I don't see him filling in those shoes. I think they're going to be way too big for him, and so I was immediately concerned. Also, he's very, very much way too old. I'm very, very much way too old. That's a dumb way of saying it. He's very much not in the age range of Spike Spiegel. I think Spike's in his 30s. John Cho might be in his 50s. Let me just double check that, because I think I have his information right here. John Cho. Stupid internet. 1972. 1972. So he's almost 50. Definitely not in the age range. So I was very concerned. Then, they announced the rest of the cast, and Mustafa Shakir, he looks fine. Actually, he looks like they did a really great job with casting him, at least for the look. And then they announced Daniela Pineda for Faye Valentine. Now, Daniela Pineda is also another interesting cat, because again, let's go bits by bits of what's happening with the show and how it's going on. So, immediate concern. And then they started releasing, character posters and stuff, or the first look at the costumes, because it's a big deal. The show's going to be a big deal. At least they think it's going to be a big deal. And everybody was like, okay, John Cho, he kind of looks like Spike. At least they got the costume right. The hair, definitely not. Jet Black definitely looks like him. So it's okay. No problems there. The dog looks like the dog. Corgi, no issues there. And then they showed Faye Valentine. And her costume looks nothing like Faye Valentine. In fact, let me see if I can find a picture for you so that you have an idea of how Faye Valentine looks now and how she looks in the comic book. Because Faye Valentine, here you go. A side-by-side comparison. Let me just do this real quick. All right, so there you go. Side-by-side comparison. Now, damn it, messed up. Okay, here we go. So side-by-side comparison. Kind of, I guess. I could have found a better picture. Whatever, doesn't matter. You know what? I'll try to find a better picture. Just because if I'm using a visual medium, it's got to be like a good visual medium, right? Yeah, you know what? No, doesn't matter. They keep using the same picture, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so as you can see here, Faye Valentine is a femme fatale. She uses, and well, for those of you who don't know what a femme fatale is it's a thing. It's a term from film noir. It's basically the dangerous woman that you don't know if you can trust or not. And Faye Valentine uses her sexuality as a weapon because she's a femme fatale. So you can see she's very sexy. She shows a lot of skin. With her, with Danielle Pineda, her character, her costume, like shows no skin whatsoever, like nothing. Like you can see like her neck and her face. And that's it. Now that's a massive disadvantage if you're going to be a character whose main weapon, well, her not main weapon, but her, let's say, sexual appeal is weaponized and weaponized to great avail. So it is, in fact, it kind of goes with her nickname. I forget her nickname, but it kind of goes with that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So terrible choice for a costume. Terrible. And of course, the OG fans, the people on the internet, complained. And here is where Daniela made a massive mistake. And I mean massive mistake. When you're dealing with a fan base that loves something a lot, they tend to be either assholes about it, but they can also be very forgiving. They can be, okay, I'll give you an opportunity. That's been my experience with most of the fan bases that I've encountered. And they'll be like, okay, well, that's not exactly how it was in the book or whatever, and I would have preferred it, but I understand. I'll give you a chance. That's usually how it goes. And it all depends on how you explain it. Let's say, for example, if I'm Daniela Pineda and they tell me like, hey, why the hell aren't you showing any skin? You know, like it's Faye Valentine. That's a sexy character. And, you know, she's mostly naked most of the time. Why the hell is the costume, you know, covering every inch of your body? If I'm Daniela Pineda, I'd be like, I see your point. I understand that it's that she's sexy in that way. However, unfortunately, it's we're trying to do it in a way that, let me see, how can actually, you know what, I can't find a good justification for it because you can just do it anyway. Doesn't matter. I would be like, we had wardrobe issues for the action scenes, and so we decided to go with something that could be considered a different form of sexy. I think we made it work out. You might disagree, but you know, sexiness, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You can do whatever you want. And most people would have been like, I think most people would have been like, all right, I get it. I would prefer the other thing, but it's fine. If it works out, it's fine. Unfortunately, she was kind of bitchy about it, and her response wasn't really like all that nice. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I just remember her being bitchy about it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not 6'2" and you know, like ripped and super sexy and blah blah blah. I'm just like a short girl, blah blah. And here's the problem. I think Faye Valentine and her are like exactly the same size. Maybe like two inches difference. Maybe like she's 5'1" and Faye's like 5'2", according to the, you know, the character poster of Cowboy Bebop. So let's just say they started ripping her new on, and now the internet doesn't like her, or at least the OG hardcore fans don't like her. So that's, again, points against Cowboy Bebop. Then they released the opening credits, and Cowboy Bebop has one of the greatest soundtracks of all time, and it goes with the opening. Boom, 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 boom. It's jazz. It's awesome. It's bumpy. You hear it. You get excited. You're like, oh my god, Cowboy Bebop's going on. The opening is really cool. You know, they use a bunch of colors and stuff. It's noir. It's noir, but it's colorful. It's really cool. It's a great opening. I recommend it. Check it out. And so they released that, and I was torn about it. I did not like there was a lot of slow motion stuff because, again, slow motion, humans doing slow motion sometimes looks very silly. Like, particularly with Faye, there's a moment where she's like I'm going to be sexy and misdirecting with my leg, and then I pull out a gun. That looks really stupid in slow motion. It just does. I'm sorry. She looked dumb, but whatever. You get it. When you can get what they're going for, fine. Doesn't matter. There was one thing, however, that really, really annoyed me. They showed pretty much every character that's going to be appearing on the show in the opening credits, except for one major character of the show. Now, if you've seen Cowboy Bebop, you know that there's 5 main characters. One of them's a dog. So let's say you may not consider the dog a main character, but the dog's there pretty much the whole time. You got Spike, main character. You got Faye, the femme fatale. You got Jet Black, the retired old cop who's kind of old, not an old cop, but the bounty hunters are tired of dealing with this shit. And then you got Ed. Where the fuck is Ed? I haven't seen anything of Ed. I haven't heard casting news. I haven't seen them in the opening credit song. I haven't seen anything from Ed. And Ed is kind of a big deal. Ed is a massive deal for fans. We like her. It's awesome. It's hysterical. She's a massive weirdo. She rounds out this group of weirdos that do weird things. And it really was one of those things that, are they going to wait an entire season to introduce Ed? Cowboy Bebop only lasted 23, 24 episodes. I don't remember. And a movie, but still. It was one season. And what's their plan? They're going to do Ed a half a season, in the mid-season surprise. They're going to, at the end, so we have a second season. What the fuck's happening with Ed? Ed is a big character, but it's not like a big second season that we're gonna add whatever. No, she's supposed to be there. So I'm concerned about Ed. I'm worried that they just cut her out of the whole thing, and so we'll see how that particular thing goes. So that annoyed me. And then what was it, today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Let me just double check the date because I don't want to say something and it turns out that I was wrong. It was released. Yeah, I believe it was released today. They released a teaser for Cowboy Bebop because Cowboy Bebop will be coming out on November 21st. Well, November what? No. That's not November. No, November 19th. So it's coming out pretty soon, in a few weeks. Less than a month. Exactly 1 month. And as it's going to come out, they decided, you know what? We're going to release a teaser. And the teaser is kind of like a mini movie. So they did a mini movie, 2 minutes. They condensed an episode of the show into 2 minutes. And I am very torn. Because seeing it, I did not... first off, I need to get this out of the way. Jet was fantastic. I think Jet was maybe a little bit too over the top, but that kind of happens to actors when they're trying to play cartoons. I don't know why they need to make their performances a little bit cartoony, but fine, I get it. His lines were fine. In fact, his lines were really good, and he looks the part. So, all right, fine. Jet's fine. Everything else, I'm very torn on. Because if it wasn't named Cowboy Bebop, I would have been like, oh, that looks like a fun show. But it's not Cowboy Bebop. That's the problem. That's the problem here. Because there's a lot of things there that could look pretty cool, but it's not Cowboy Bebop. John Cho, he's no Spike Spiegel. He doesn't have that aloof charm. He's actually too serious in a kind of like a dumb way. It doesn't matter. I want to eat some noodles. It doesn't work. Who would be Spike Spiegel is imagine kind of like James Franco. He's always got that dumb, easygoing smile. It doesn't matter, but he could kick your ass. Well, I don't know if James Franco could kick your ass, but kind of like that aloofness. I'm talking about the aloofness. I may or may not be here paying attention, but I kind of am aloof. My body's relaxed and stuff. That's kind of what Spike's supposed to be. John Cho just is not, at least in these 2 minutes that I saw him actually playing the character, actually moving, actually delivering lines. It's dude, this was a complete and total miscast. Also, you're very old. It's not good. Then with Daniela Pineda, she's too annoying in a way, and that's not Faye. Faye's not the pushy, annoying. Faye's annoyed. Faye gets annoyed. Faye's not supposed to be annoying, if that makes any sense. If you watch the show, she gets very exasperated, but she's not the one who's annoying people or the grown-up in the room. She has a lot of issues too. So I do not particularly like the teaser. I mean, the effects are fine. You can tell that they're throwing a lot of money into this. The editing was fun. The neon lights and all that stuff, it looked pretty cool. So visually it looks interesting. The effects and all that stuff, it looks like it could be cool. So again, watching it, if it was named anything else, like Space Bounty Hunters, I'd be like, okay, that could be an interesting show. But it's not Cowboy Bebop. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't sound like it. It just feels wrong. Or at least Spike and Faye so far do not look well, and the performances again look cartoony, and they're not supposed to be. I don't know why actors do this. That's one of the big issues when they're adapting something. When they're adapting like a cartoon into live action, they act cartoony. I don't know why. Just act like a normal person. You're doing this live action. Do it like a normal person. I don't get it. So overall, I'm gonna watch the show just so that I can, either enjoy it or rip it up or enjoy ripping it apart. But I'm concerned. Like I did not like it from the beginning. I was concerned because again, live action adaptation of an anime usually doesn't work out. There's a charm to anime. Okay, there's a particular charm. It's very important, and so far it doesn't translate well. It just doesn't. Then miscast with John Cho. Then Daniela Pineda seems to be kind of a bitch. Then Ed is not going to be showing up for some reason, or at least they're keeping her pretty well hidden. And then you see them in the teaser, and you're like, man, this could be cool, but it's not Cowboy Bebop. It doesn't feel right. The acting's not right. It's just not there. So, let's just say my expectations at this point are extremely low. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know if you've seen the teaser or not. You should. I mean, if you're into the original show, and just tell me maybe I'm overthinking it. It's possible. I tend to do that. I've been known for overthinking stuff, but I don't know. At this point, I don't think it's gonna go well. So that's it. I think that's a good place to start. That's a good place to stop. What else? It's always any comments, questions, or suggestions. You can join me in the chat. Just hop on the stream. I hopefully my computer won't be messing up tomorrow, and everything will be fine. 10 a.m. That's what I'm aiming for. 10 a.m. If you want to join me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch, like, subscribe, everything. It really helps out the channel. Also, if you want to send me private messages and stuff, you can do it on Instagram at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Dario World. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.